Hi, everyone. Welcome to DomainSherpa, and thank you for tuning in to the podcast with the best domain name and digital asset content in the world. Today's episode is a DomainSherpa review titled Zoom Out, featuring Shane, Braden, and Daniel Koleshchuk, who's on the show for the first time. On today's show, we played the domain game featuring IYAR.com, SearchParty.com, and HighRanking.com. And then we've got the NameJetGonnaJet segment, sponsored by NameJet, and we talk about some domains coming up for auction, including SimplyBeautiful.com, KitchenCollection.com, BitLogic.com, and AICounsel.com. And then we talk about the seasonal nature of the domain space, the need for patience in the domain space and investing in general, and the need at times to simply zoom out. All that and more is coming up on today's show. And remember, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can also watch the video version at DomainSherpa.com and on our YouTube channel at ds.tv. You can also listen to the shows on Apple and Spotify and other podcast platforms as well. So please make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and all that good stuff everywhere that you can and help DomainSherpa grow the pie. We also integrate our shows with Muse.ai, which provides search functionality for the shows and transcripts as well. And huge shout out to DNWE, short for Domain Name Wholesale Exchange. It's a trading platform designed specifically for domain investors, streamlining the process of buying and selling domain names to make it quicker and easier. With a community of over 3,500 investors, DNWE enhances market liquidity, facilitating more efficient transactions with standard domain listings, reverse auctions, standard auctions, and soon-to-be added portfolio auctions, including traffic portfolios. DNWE is part of EW3N, a family-run digital asset investment company based in London, England, that also operates DomainManage.com, which is a global sales platform, and Brandable.uk, which is a marketplace for UK and Co.uk domain names. And also, big shout out to Unstoppable Domains, the only ICANN accredited registrar that lets you trade DNS domains on-chain and access crypto investors. With 3% commissions at cost renewals and hundreds of resellers soon to be integrated, they're a cutting-edge marketplace you need to know about and use to get more sales and keep your costs down. Unstoppable can save you thousands in registration costs. They've got $5.com Fridays and $5 off all transfers in, no promo code required. And big shout out to our own business, MediaOptions, the #1 domain brokerage in the world. Find out more at MediaOptions.com, where you can also sign up for our newsletter for the best domain opportunities available in the market every week, and also featuring key insights and other helpful information related to branding, naming, and domain investing. And last but not least, some upcoming domain conferences to mention. We've got NamesCon Global coming up November 5th and 6th in Miami. Go to namescon.com for more information and to register. Use coupon code DS20 to get 20% off the ticket price. And on the topic of domain conferences, the ICA has their annual member meeting coming up January 15th to the 17th at the Park MGM in Las Vegas. So go to ICA.Vegas for more information, and we'll see everybody there as well. All right, with that, it's now time to get into this episode of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. What's up, Sherpa Network? Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jonathan Tenenbaum, a.k.a. JT, a.k.a. Jay On, a.k.a. Sherpa Winfrey, host and producer of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Today's show is a Domain Sherpa review where we get into the minds of successful domain investors using real examples to learn strategies and tactics to become more successful domain name investors ourselves. These are the experts, the OGs. We got a special guest today on the show for the first time, but we'll get to that. There are 4 segments to a Domain Sherpa review. We've got the grand opening. That's where I intro the Sherpas. We see what's going on with them, talk about some related things, some unrelated things. Then we get into the domain game. That's what we hear about what the Sherpas recently bought or sold. Everybody guesses on the price. We keep score. Somehow, someday, some way, eventually, we'll get the swag to the winners. We will, Braden. I just showed you the swag offline. You know what I'm
You just
saying?
showed me something that I will never have. That's what you showed me.
Well,
I'm like,
hey,
look, I'm never gonna send one of these to you.
hey, you're never gonna get this.
You could have shown
all
us a
right.
Magna Carta. We had the same chance of getting it.
Hey man, if you need Nicolas Cage to do like a the heist movie to get the Sherpa swag, like the Declaration of Independence and the new Sherpa hoodies. And then we've got segment 3, NameJetGonnaJet. We review a list of domains coming up for auction on NameJet. We see what the Sherpas like and what they don't like. And last but not least, we got GrandClosing, where we'll discuss anything we haven't already covered, what's going on in the domain space, and looking at the market trends, current events, conferences, all that good stuff, allowing our guests to mention and promote anything they want to talk about that we've not already talked about. With that, let's go ahead and introduce the Sherpas. Over to my right on the show for the first time, although we did talk about him recently on a show, we got Daniel Koleshchuk, aka Danny Boy, aka Danny Cole Aw Shucks, aka Danny Nunshucks, aka Daniel Koleshchuk Taylors, aka Koleshchuk Goose, aka Daniel What's Cooler Than Cool, IYAR. What's up, man? How you living?
I love that you gave me an outcast, aka like that. That's a real honor. Like for the real hip hop fans, that's a real honor. I'll take it.
You know,
Great,
so
man. Appreciate
there
hearing
are
it.
some new hip hop albums that have just recently come out. So for those of you that are the hip hop fans, I don't know if anybody's listened to the new Clips album, which is awesome. And there's a couple other ones. It seems like some OGs are coming back and dropping some stuff. I'd love to see a new Outkast album. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but forever, ever, that would be pretty sick. So
I'll just wait for the NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just keep holding on, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Hodl.
I'll get the NFT when I get my new swag.
Yeah.
Hey, so Daniel, what is good, dude? What's happening?
Just excited to be here for the first time. Just trying to sell something to somebody. That's all it is these days.
That's it, man. Well,
That's all
That's
of
what I
it.
got for you.
All of
you're
it.
doing your thing at Hilco Global. Big shout out to Miller as well. He was on the show like a week ago, and yeah, I mean, you guys are just doing what you do, man. It's all good stuff. So, and like I mentioned, we were hyping you up on the show recently, so we said, hey, an opportunity to bring you on, and I'm glad you're here, man. So welcome.
I was thrilled to get that call.
Oh, that's what's up, man. See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Appreciation, finally.
All right, let's keep it moving. Over to my lower right, we got my boy Braden Pollock, aka Tony Stark, aka Benjamin Button, aka Eat, Bray, Love, aka Braden Statham, aka Braden Pollockton, the Archduke of Calabasas, the Viscount of Woodland Hills. It's not that your domain is worthless; it's just that it's worth less. What's up, man? How you living?
So, I want some new AKAs one of these days because I've heard these many times, and while I appreciate them, I think it's just time to change them up.
And that's what it is. Everybody's a critic. Everybody just wants more and more. That's what it is.
That's right. That's exactly.
So, well, hey, man, look, you're on the show a lot. You give us your valuable time and your expertise and your insight. The least we can do is hit you with some new AKAs. You know what I'm
That's all I'm saying. I don't ask for much.
I got you, dog. All right, well, welcome to the show as usual. And then last but certainly not least, below me, we got my boy Shane Culture, aka Sugar Shane, aka Honey Shane, aka Mike Rowe, aka Blame It on the Shane, House of Shane, aka the Culture Club, doing it for the culture, in Shane in the membrane, in Shane in the blockchain, chain. Come back, Shane. What's up, man?
I'm just standing in for Steve Carell in a couple movies, so I had to.
Okay, yeah. Two-tone, the gray beard, the dark hair.
No, I'm home. I went on a 5-week training block in the mountains to run and hike, and I just got back and weighed myself, and we got to be a little careful. Daddy lost 19 pounds, so.
Dude, I was gonna say, you looking like Tom Hanks in Castaway. I should call you. You're gonna get AKA Wilson pretty soon.
I mean, Aaron Wilkin put the bar pretty high as far as hiking, and I think I did almost 300 miles this month. I'm in good shape, so we'll see how that translates. But the problem is the weather, man. Where I was, it was 75 every day, 38 at night, no humidity, and then I come home to this brutal humidity. Like, I don't know how people. I've done it for 30 years, but after you come back, I don't know how people do it. But yeah, it's good to be home. It's good to be back in my routine, but it was a really good month. So everybody needs that kind of month, right?
Dude, I would love to get me to some 75-degree weather. We're, here in Florida, we are dealing with 100+, and it feels like it's 103 today, maybe, and it feels like 113 type of deal. So I've been running, but it's actually gotten to the point where I have to strategically run where it's like, at 2 miles, I get to the gas station and I literally will go in and I'll buy some, I'll drink a Gatorade, a water, chill, let my body temperature recalibrate, and I'll get running again. You know what I mean? It's really fun. And I end up, I'm having these conversations with the guy at the counter. He's like, "Oh, you're back. What's up, bro?" We're vibing. He's like, "You all right out there, man?" Yeah. It's
the whole world's looking for good weather that's not in California.
It feels like 113. Why isn't it 113? Why is it 103?
That's a great question, man.
It should be 113.
I'm with you. You know, it's like if it feels it, like what do you mean it feels it? Like, so is the temperature it or not? But it's the
Is it or
humidity.
not?
But it's like being in a microwave, and you know, and even when it rains, it doesn't
And
create
I
any
think
kind of.
the whole country being so hot affects sales. Like I think you're going to see. I literally think you'll see people spending less money this summer than they have in a long time because of the heat. It's
bite your tongue because it's
Oh,
hotter.
knock on wood. Knock on wood, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, well, it is interesting. We're definitely getting into, you know, Daniel and I were talking about this before, you know, offline before we got started with the show. But you know, it is. You kind of see this time it's fits and starts or whatever the term is, where it's like, you know, things are just explosive, and then all of a sudden you hear nothing for a week. You know what I mean? It just goes like.
Well, this is the period of time, right? Like so, and I put this online. Like I do an email through AI. I'm 90% down on emails over the last couple of weeks, like compared to what I normally got, even this time last year. It's not just me. Like people are just taking these 3 weeks, whether it's heat, kids are about to go back into school. This is vacation time. Like, don't let this affect what you're doing or think that you're doing something wrong until the middle of August. I'm not saying give up, but I'm saying prep. Don't expect a lot. Don't even try and get a hold of people. Like my through rates on my outbound emails, again, super low, like lower than I've ever had them. So it's just, it is what it is. So you just have to, I don't want to say expect it because it's not always like that. But this year, I think people are traveling hard and vacationing hard and just not working hard.
Yeah.
You know, to add to that, I will say that the people that care about that already know that they would care about the domain, they're replying. Like
it's not that they're not
having,
replying. Yeah. It's the cold ones. Like they're not starting.
Yeah,
right.
I would agree.
You know,
I think
like,
that's actually a great way of saying it. I think you're right. And we've seen the same exact thing. The deals that we've got, like we've got a bunch of stuff happening, but getting them started, you know, kind of seems like that goes through these little bit of windows where it can be slow and quiet. But yeah, all the stuff that's like pending that we're trying to get to the finish line, they're all moving along, right? Which is great. That's a great thing. But yeah, the cold email piece. So when you're talking about the emails, you're talking about your open rate on your like newsletter.
Yeah, my reaching out. I mean,
oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm reaching out like a cold email to prospective, you know, the open rate for me be maybe 15, 18%, depending on how high a level I'm going. And they're almost zero.
Yeah.
Almost zero. So again, it's just, it is what it is. And this isn't you know, our industry is not 6 weeks. There are people that are having really good success now. It's really the whole year. And hopefully it means fall people will pick up. And I think we will. I'm not slightest bit worried about it. People are still shopping.
Oh, dude.
You know,
And I mean, the space, the prices, I mean, you know, this is some of the most active it's been. We've seen great success. We've seen an enormous appreciation in the value of premium domains. You know, even like Estabot, you go to the Estabot site and it says like, you know, something about appraisals being way up, you know, although it doesn't seem like it's reflective necessarily in the data that you know, or whatever. But, and then I think
auction prices sure aren't going down. Like people are still buying auction names all the time. Like they are not, it's not like you're getting any deals because people aren't shopping. People are still buying on the wholesale level. That's not a problem.
What about you, Braden? How you feeling? How's everything going for you?
I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, there's action. I haven't had any sales in. I mean, I was having so many sales this year, but then it's been quiet the last couple of weeks from a sales perspective. But I've had lowball offers. So, you know, some I'm taking. You know, some I'm hoping to come back. Some I'm just blowing off. So, you know, at least there's action. I'm feeling something. Right?
Yeah, I just want to feel something. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. All right, cool. Well, that's what's good. All right, well, we shall see. But yeah, it is an interesting time. And yeah, I think to anybody who's out there that's sort of struggling a little bit and feeling like things are so quiet and, you know, this, that, or the other, I think it's, you know, you got to understand this is just how it goes. You know, it's a, you know, it's an inconsistent process always, even for those, you know, with big portfolios, and we see it. But, you know, overall, all is good. So we'll just keep.
And I'm used to it being in the nursery business. It's seasonal. You just, August is dead. So you just kind of you learn to live your life through an overall, if like you're living, there's no living paycheck to paycheck in domain industry. That's not how it works, man. You have to save when you sell, you have to prepare, you have to spend accordingly, right? You can't buy domains hoping that you're going to have a sale to pay for what you just purchased because you put it on the credit card. Money management is an important part of all business. So
yeah, 100%. Well said.
I'd
All
say
right.
it's harder to. I just want to throw in. I think it's harder for me, at least, to notice that it's a slower time right now because, like, I learned starting, like, I really started doing this in like 2020, 2021 ish, really full time 2021 ish. And I remember as I was learning, brokerage and outbound in like 22, 23, those were slow years in general. And I always remember it's like, I've never been through an economic cycle, or at least as an adult to recognize that like, oh, this is a downtime. And I remember always thinking like, what's not clicking? What's not happening? Like, what am I doing wrong? There's no way. So coming out of that into, what's been much better the last year and a half, at least, year and a half, 2 years, it just feels way better than what I was always used to. So I'm not feeling it.
You've also put yourself in a higher volume place too. So, it's, I always tell everybody, you're not as smart as you think you are, and you're also not as dumb as you think you are when things aren't well. It's always in between, right? Like I love the people that have a couple of great sales and now they're so smart. They know everything about domains and they figured it all out. And like, okay. And then there's other people who aren't selling anything and they think, man, did I buy the right inventory? Like, am I parking them at the right place? Like, all the parking landers get blamed for doing a bad job when in the reality is that's just a lander's a lander, right?
Right. People either visiting or they're typing it in. Or they're not typing it in.
I mean, they're doing a horrible job. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how discoverability works. You just have a lander. Like that's doesn't matter at this point. But
yeah, well,
it's okay. We've seen it all.
Yeah, patience is important. I think understanding, like you said, big picture around cycles and things, but just knowing that, this stuff takes time sometimes. And, but it's also everybody is so focused, hyper focused on instant gratification and everything else. It's like, even like in crypto right now, some people would tell you, oh man, my Bitcoin's going sideways. It's like Bitcoin's $117,000 right now. So I know that like it tapped 120 and then it dipped a little bit, but it's like, if you feel like right now that it's in a bad place, from a pricing standpoint, it's like, you got to like take a step back and view the forest, for the trees and all that stuff, because, again, it's easy in context to be thinking like, oh, wait, this week is slow or this week is sideways, when you just zoom out, baby, zoom out, That'll be the name of the show today.
If you got to feel something, go find a hobby.
Well, so
go ahead.
No, go.
I was going to say 8 years ago this week, Braden and I did our Europe trip. And I remember on our flight to Iceland, we could not wrap our minds around the fact that Bitcoin did its very first climb from 1,000 to 5,000. It's the first time it like really made its way into the four figures. We were on that flight, or it was like in that day or 2 day period when we were traveling and did that first run, and we couldn't wrap our minds around it. So then now it's like, oh, we're down to 117.
And and after we saw that, what we didn't do? Buy up as much Bitcoin as we could.
Sure. You're like, should we sell? We should sell.
Because it's all the way up to 5,000. Why would you? Why would you buy anything to 5x?
No, I bought some at 1,000 and then sold it at 2,000. I was stoked. Turned $500 into 1,000. Oh, I was 17 or something. I was thrilled.
And then you screenshot it and send it to your friends.
I was mining at 3,000. I had over 200 miners at 3,000, and I sold everything at like 7,000, 7,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, man. Well, I say it a lot too. Like if I had bought enough Bitcoin back, and I had always been dabbling, but like didn't have a whole lot of Bitcoin around then. Not that I have a whole lot now, but even if I'd bought a bunch back in like 2011, like, cause you see some of these big whales are like liquidating now, right? Selling into the, these prices. And it's like, I don't know that would never be me, because I never would have held that long. The only way that it would have worked for me to hold from that long ago till now would have been like losing access to the wallet and like losing the hard drive and finding it in the landfill and then being like, okay, now I can fucking access the shit because I haven't been able to sell up to this point, But it's, hodling is not easy. And we talk about it a lot with domains because it's like, the trend is your friend. You want to sell into the wave, trying to recognize the right time. We're also, a lot of us that are older, we've kind of been raised on different mantras like time in the market is better than timing the market and those kinds of things. It's so hard when you're like, but is this it, right? Is this the final, I think Bitcoin is just, really, it's just, I think when you look at all the macroeconomic factors and just everything about Bitcoin and all that stuff, we're obviously extremely bullish and, and just hold it long term because it is what it is. Because it's, and we joke around sometimes too about things like Bitcoin. It's one thing to go to domain conferences, you're trying to get some deals, you're selling specific individual domains. Bitcoin conferences is like you're just going for something to do. For people that have that much Bitcoin and that are like, oh, I'm going to go to the conference and just go talk about Bitcoin. But really, the best thing to do is just buy it, don't ever touch it, and then just go play pickleball or something, because it's like otherwise, you're just going to sell early unless you're going to day trade it. But even then, it's like, you're better off just buy it, hold it, and sell it eventually whenever you actually.
And without getting too much of a tangent, one of the problems with domains is we don't get yield, right? So there's very few assets that you don't get yield. Now, I know people are trying to change that, and it's not going to change. But in general, it's an asset class that you can't, maybe you could rent out. I shouldn't say you can't rent out, but like a home, there's not many assets that you can't get anything for it while you hold it. We just happen to be one of those. You have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because if you own a property and you rent it out and
Airbnb it or land, you can farm it. Treasuries. There's just all kinds of things normally. So, when it comes to Bitcoin, that was one of my decisions of why I sold a couple Bitcoin is because I could take that 100,000 and take 200,000 and get 7% yield off of it. And would Bitcoin go up 7%? Or those are the kind of things as you start hitting 55. That you have to analyze what you do. And I'm one of those people too that I don't have to pay for my kids, right? Like generational wealth, I don't care. Like my wealth is what am I going to do for buy a car. I sold a Bitcoin and bought a Bronco, like one of the stupidest things at 55,000. But you know what? I had a freaking good ass time in the Bronco the last couple of years driving through the mountains, and the Bitcoin wouldn't have given me that pleasure. So it's a balance of life and all this kind of stuff.
No, the Bitcoin would have gone up 2.5x, and that Bronco went down by 2/3.
Yeah. But for 3 years, I've been driving
the
through
Bitcoin, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All you do, you barely can look at it. You look at the balance in your ledger, and you're otherwise just like.
And I bought the Bitcoin for 11,000 at the time. So yeah, it's just
dude.
Again, it's all a personal thing. I think we've all done great. Like there's nobody, there's nobody sitting here that has not benefited from digital assets in their lifestyle. So
you can't take your wallet off roading. So
yeah,
100%, man. You can't get muddy.
So, there's there's this. And this is kind of this is where I'm at life. It's this balance of experience and finances that you have to figure it out. And health. Like I see so many, I was at Aspen watching all these old people that just retired at like 65, 70 and are just limping around with Botox, trying to finish out the last 15 years with tons of cash. I'm thinking that's the worst ending I could think of. So
yeah, that's a very interesting point, because, you think about that and I'll go off on this tangent for 2 minutes and then we'll get back into domain talk. We're talking about domains being part and parcel to like what allows us to live these kind of lifestyles, right? But I agree with you. And, like my wife and I were talking recently about it and we're like, oh, when the kids, head off to college and, we'll do some European travel and some other things. And, we're trying to figure out like summertime and, where should we be going and what should we be doing and saving versus spending. And you're right. Like it goes fast. And then if you're sitting there, you can't take it with you. You can leave it for your kids. But at the same time, those experiences, it's all about the balance. And I think that's the interesting. And just like it's about balancing your portfolio between domains and Bitcoin and stocks and mutual funds and everything else. It's like trying to find the right fit for everything. But hey, but it's just like us. We talk about like it's like, all right, domains, they don't sell themselves. So you got to put in the work. But at the same time, you're also waiting a long time for things to happen, even for deals that are agreed to close. What do you do in the meantime? We jump on here and we bullshit and we talk about
it. You speak at a domain conference in Iceland with 7 people.
We stare at our Bitcoin in our account and say, poke it with a stick and say, do something.
Yeah.
Shane, I was dying when you said that Braden would go to a grand opening of a data center opening. Oh my god, that was like 3 episodes ago. That was hilarious.
That's the thing. Braden's a perfect example. He's like, "Where's the next conference? Give me something to do." You know.
Listen, I get bored sitting around.
Wow.
And also, by the way, I wouldn't go to that grand opening of the data center unless I was speaking. I want to clarify.
They probably would have you speaking though, or at least cutting the ribbon.
He's like, "Here's the scissors," and Braden's like, "I have my own scissors. Don't worry about
it." Like the Ron Burgundy from Anchorman, where he's like, he's like, "Oh, I can't," they're like, "Play something for us." He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm so unprepared," and then he pulls the flute or whatever out of his sleeve and pulls the scissors.
He's got the scissors already.
All right. Well, with that, let's keep it moving. We got the domain game. All right. So Daniel, do you have a name? Do you have something that you can share?
I have a personal buy.
All right. Personal buy.
So I'm going to give you guys my favorite name. This is from late last year. I haven't sold it yet. IYAR.com. IYAR.com.
IYAR. IYAR.
So vowel
Sounds like
consonant,
it's
vowel consonant.
Farsi or something.
Yes, Farsi.
No, it's vowel. It's vowel. I guess it depends. Dude, I saw somebody post this on Twitter the other day, and it really hit home with me. They used to say vowels, right? A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y. And it's like, and someone was like, did I hallucinate that, or is that what they actually used to say? And it's
they used to say that. I remember that in school.
They did. That's
that's what I hate about English. It's like, here are the rules. The vowels are A-E-I-O-U. And sometimes Y.
Sometimes Y.
But how is sometimes a rule? What is it? That's no rule. Oh. Sometimes. Sometimes when?
I'm with it. So, all right. Well, let's see. IYAR.com. IYAR.
IYAR.com. You bought it a year ago, you said?
December.
December. Oh, 8 months ago. Okay.
All right. All right. 3, 2, 1. Flip it. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So we've got me at 600, Shane at 850, and Braden at $5,500.
So Braden takes it. It was $6,000, and I'm going to tell you why I love this name. Why I absolutely love this name. So in the Bible and biblical Israel, IYAR is known as the springtime, specifically after the rain is done and all of the agriculture and vegetation starts blooming. So it's known in the Bible as a time of healing, growth, reset. Well, I have the description.
So Jesus is your buyer.
No, I think so. Essentially, I think that it could be an agriculture brand, it could be a health brand, it could be a fitness brand. It's easy to spell. I think Radio Test is decent on it. But I think that first off, this is biblical Israel. Israel is at the forefront of technology. Second off, the whole, a significant part of the world, reads the Bible. So that's going to resonate with people.
Popular book. And you know what I'm saying? It's like the
Twilight. It's a pretty popular book. Exactly. So I think that reference, being a time of reset and whatnot, I think that meaning does make it a strong brand, like as a symbolic reference for a brand.
Is anyone using it?
I haven't checked recently. I listed it, believe it.
And I have a question for you. You have it under make offer. You're not doing a buy it now. Like you haven't come up with a price. You'd rather explore through a make offer.
So the thing with Adam Premium is I don't get favoritism, even though I also wear the Adam hat, and they won't approve it for the price that I want, which is I would rather. So I have about a dozen of these like Radio Test friendly pronounceable 4Ls. Everything is priced at $125,000.
Okay.
As bins, and they will not approve. This is the only one I cannot get approved at that number.
Yeah,
interesting.
And I do the same thing when you don't approve it, when I send it to you and it's not quite for what I want, I just change it to make offer. Yeah.
Right. So I wanted it on premium. So, the number that exists is less. I could have it with the price I want as a plus listing or a standard listing, or I could have it as make offer with a premium, and I want the premium.
And that's something good to think about. So you can get on the premium discoverability part of it, even though it hasn't been approved for enough, and then switch it to make offer so people can't buy it at that price, but you still get all the discoverability of the Atom platform.
Right. And somebody can just reach out and ask me. Right. And somebody can ask me and reach out to it. And, you guys remember Drew's spiel on the velocity of money with the trading names. Like, somebody makes me, a half decent offer, I'll turn it.
Yeah.
It's like, it can, it doesn't, I think that there is also a conversation of like somebody who might love it for 35 grand would get, maybe turned off by 125. Let them try.
Yeah.
Let somebody come in and like, the other thing with make offers, a conversation is required, which is favorable. Like, let's talk it out. Let's figure it out. Let's make it happen. I'll play ball on it. Like, I'm not going to hardball these names. Like, let's turn it and move it into the next, so I can't have the bin that I want, but if all of my others, they're priced at 125,000.
Cool.
Bins.
I dig it, man.
Nice.
IR,
And I take it you haven't sold any.
I have not. Listen, I only started buying 8 months ago, and I have a dozen of them. So we'll get there.
All right. Moon in all of them.
It only takes one.
Just say one.
When you have that's the beauty of having a paycheck is you can be a little, you can be a little less aggressive, or maybe over aggressive, I guess is a better.
I'm not relying on it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to, the other thing is like, the problem with me buying names that are outboundable is I'm going to outbound them, but I have a commitment to, the brokerage. So like, I would rather work on the names that like we've committed to, that we're engaged on a long term, that people are, relying on us to go and make the sales. These, list them, forget it, not relying on the money for anything. Someday it's going to pop and it's going to be a life-changing amount, and that's going to be great. But like, I don't have to stress on it. I don't have to think about like, oh, what happens if I don't sell this? Focus on the task at hand. Someday I'm going to get that email, and until then, it's all good.
I dig it, man.
You'll find out if you have make offer, nobody makes an offer. It'll give you a good sense of maybe I need to lower my expectations on price. It's part of it. I mean, there is something to be said about having to make a living on your sales that make you a better domain investor, because you have to be more price conscious. You have to be so there's this combination of you get better prices if you don't need the money, but at the same time, if you do need the money, you tend to do a better job on what you do. So you just kind of weigh those two.
That's a good point. It's legit.
Yeah.
I dig it. All right. Well, point to Braden. So he got it. And, so.
Why did you guys both guess so low?
That was low.
Well, because you said
it's a principal 4 up.
No, I know. For my thing, it was that, he said he bought it. I figured he was going to be pretty sort of strategic on the purchase, and that I always
saying I'm not.
No, it's not that. I don't know. I think you paid a decent amount for it. Like, I don't think it was a bad buy. I would definitely undershot it a lot, but I was also similar to where Shane was, but I just didn't know where you got it. And if you got a really good deal on the buy was really, I always kind of give you guys the benefit of like being very shrewd purchasers. So, and not that this was a bad buy, but just that I just thought you did like a bit better on the buy. That was all. So, but I just, for what it's worth, I was kind of tinkering in between, somewhere between the number that I put up, which was 600 and like 1500. So,
yeah,
I just wasn't sure. I also was just trying to like see if I could just, I thought I'd be completely by myself on the low end, and then Shane was kind of like,
well, in hindsight, once I think AR just augmented reality, like that one definitely, and it's not CVC, like the opposite CVCV that starts at 5,000 plus. So, I don't know. Yeah, for me, I thought you get access to really good deals, and so I thought maybe you saw something and snuck it in. So
like sniped it.
Yeah, sniped it. But I don't think you did bad on that.
You don't get access to good deals, do you? Can you?
Not anything special. Not I have a lot of the same sources as everyone else. Not like once in a while somebody will submit something to Hilco, but like they usually like it's almost always for for brokerage and not for quick sale. And if it is for quick sale,
what platform did you buy it on?
It was from a broker, from a private broker. Somebody sent it to me.
Yeah.
It was the same source that Drew got Madagascar from.
Oh, nice. So yeah, and I think maybe that I would have also thought maybe it was more like a GoDaddy kind of auction type of thing too. But
I don't watch
even
them.
then,
I don't. I just want to throw in I don't watch any of the auctions at all. I used to way back when I wanted to learn what things would sell for, but it's a time consuming thing every day, and it's the thing that I watch every day is venture fundraising, private equity fundraising, mergers and acquisitions, what's going on in the world, tech innovation, because that's where we're getting, our, those are our resources, because we're looking for buyers for names we already have. We're not looking for names, we're looking for buyers for existing names.
And watching drops is not going to teach you values of high value names anyway.
Yeah.
It's
that's
just
fair.
No, not of high.
Honestly, I've even seen it more and more with the NameJet list, just sort of the lack of there's some good names in there. As I've said, summertime, it seems to thin out a bit. And especially when we do shows stacked on top of each other, that it thins out a good bit. But it's not like you're seeing killer one word, generics, in those lists and in those auctions, And, so kind of to
but there's plenty of inventory between everybody doing auctions and expiry. There's plenty of inventory to add to your portfolio. There's good stuff. I mean, MCC selling the other day for 95 grand was a great deal. NAR was a great buy at 45.
Mm-hmm.
NameJet last month was killer. There was a lot of great stuff going through. It's kind of thinned out the last couple of weeks, but there was some solid names.
Yeah,
and
they
even
had a really good June.
Local Guides was there. I mean, there's plenty of inventory. The problem is it's the same 150 people bidding over and over. I mean, every time I go to an AI auction, I know who's on the other side. Every time there's a one word, I know who the 12 people who are going to be bidding. We're all competing for the same inventory. So that's where the numbers are and then the people that are having more success, if you want to buy an AI at auction, you're going to be competing against one of them being Booth. James and I were fighting over consonant vowel AIs all morning. He won them all, but that's because he's had better sales. His sales have been pretty strong lately. Mine have been pretty weak. So right now forever he's going to win those. But occasionally he throws me a bone when he sees my name come up. So that's just how it goes.
And in the meantime, you're just pumping up his cost of acquisition.
Yeah, he probably should just give me 10 grand a month to stay out of it. Honestly, he'd save money.
Hey,
James, that is an offer.
Solid.
If you want to pay me 10 grand a month all year, I will never compete in any of your auctions. You'll save money. Is that collusion? Is that illegal, Braden?
No, you asking him? He's not the lawyer.
No, but he has real good access to legal, and he's been sued. No, I'm just kidding. He knows.
He is a legal domains guy, and he does know. He
has some contacts that he may have
just a few
slept next to at some point in time.
Oh well, well, I guess we can. I guess we can talk about law firm leads later in the grand closing. But you wrote a book, man. I mean, we haven't even talked about that yet.
This one.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have it. I have it on my Kindle, so it's awesome. So anyway, all right, well, more to follow on that, but let's keep it moving on the domain game. Braden's got a point, but you're actually up now, Braden, to give us a buy or a sell. What you got?
I don't know if Daniel's not gonna know these. I just sold Jest on an LTO. Daniel, do you know what I paid for what I sold Jest for?
Yeah.
Jest.com.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, how about last month? SearchParty. Do you know that one?
I don't remember it. I'll tell you for sure. I don't remember.
Okay.
That one.
So it's a sale?
Yeah, I didn't talk about that before, did I?
All right, SearchParty. I like that name.
All right, SearchParty.
Buy or sell?
This is a sell.
All right, we sold SearchParty.com. Can we find the price?
Bum, 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 bum.
All right, 3, 2, 1, flip it. All right. Oh, Daniel's at 35,000. Shane's at 185,000, and I'm at 250,000.
Jesus Christ! I wish it was that high. Daniel hit it on the head.
Oh man!
Exactly 30.
Dude, all I know is
remember that.
Wait, was it actually?
It was exactly 35.
Come on.
That's
no, we're guessing each other's shit within like $10, right on the money. It's okay. It's fine.
No,
It's
that
okay.
sounds
We're
like
not getting any
that's
swag
something you would
anytime soon anyway. Don't worry about it.
right.
It's all good.
No, that's something you would price in the mid 5 figures anyways. That's totally something you would move for mid 5 figures.
Yeah, I'm surprised you sold it that low, man. What was the thinking? How long did you have it?
I think it was an old price. I've had it 5 years, 5.5 years. I think if I priced it today, I'd price it higher than that.
Mhm.
It might have been, it was through Afterneck broker, so it might have been a negotiation. I don't remember because it was last month.
Okay.
Yeah. The bin was 50.
Okay.
The bin was 50, and I'd have to look it up. I don't know where they started, but we sold at 35, and I took it. I paid $4,000 for it in
nice.
January of 2020.
Solid. Yeah, I mean, you held it for a while, and I guess that's the other thing too. I find it always very interesting when we go over these names and stuff, and it's like, have you not gotten a lot of offers on it? Like, what has the the inquiries? Any make offers? Like, obviously you know better than anybody, right? So when you're like, hey, I've had this name for 5 years, like at that point, what's a good offer on that domain, right? So
yeah, I mean, look, I certainly prefer the 50, but how long am I going to wait? If I turn down the 35, how long am I going to wait to get the extra 15? Is it going to take me another 5 years? I'm better off just taking the 35 and reinvesting it, right? Turn that 350.
yeah, I dig it, man.
Right.
No, hey, look, good return on it.
Sometimes I take deals. I'll push as far as I can, and then if I'll get the best and final, then I'm like, well, I'll just turn it. Buy something
it's
else.
good stuff. Yeah, I think I had said I was way under on sword.com the last time on the show, so I didn't want to make that same mistake again. And
I gave it a Braden bump up myself. So
yeah. Well, I think it's a really cool name, So.
Yeah, I think obviously search is a fantastic keyword, and party can make it not seem so corporate. So you do have that kind of taking away from like a major official brand, SearchParty. But I mean, SearchParty it's a great name. It's everybody knows.
In my mind, I'm thinking it's some AI search, crowdsourcing, some kind of cool new tech that's coming out, under SearchParty, and like that's just a cool brand. So I think it's a great name, and I think the buyer did well.
Something like Search and Rescue.
Yeah. I guess in what way? How do you monetize that, right?
Yeah, that's
something
not as much.
Tough to monetize, but I mean, it could be like a feature like in the Citizen app or something. Yeah, I don't know how you monetize it, but like if Citizen had like a missing persons feature and they called it SearchParty, maybe they just want to, protect the name, the brand, secure the .com, just so no one else can use it. I don't think you can.
I'm thinking app just to find a good party, man. Like, hey, where are they partying at? Go to the SearchParty app. You'll find all the local parties, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so check it out. So it's actually there's a site on there. And what if your brand just disappeared? Not from Google, from everything. The next wave of discovery from the AI that now answers 200 million plus questions a day, from the future buying behavior of your customers. I'm not being dramatic. I'm being accurate, because here's what most marketers, even good ones, haven't realized yet. SEO is dead. It just hasn't finished bleeding out. So it's something. It definitely involves some kind of an AI search type of thing. Which I think is pretty
all right. That's who it went to, exactly who it should go to. It sounds like.
Yeah, I dig that. So, all
right,
well, good stuff.
I never looked up. I'm gonna look it up now. I sell a name and then it's dead to me. I don't care.
It's dead.
No, I love seeing
like
there was
LTO.
I sold Jiju, JIJOO, and they make these amazing knives. And I said, hey, I'll sell you the domain. Could you sell me a couple knives? And they wrote back, just sell me the domain. Don't worry about the knives.
Well, it's like, part of Drew's origin story is the Iberico ham deal, and how he sold the name at 5,000 in the ham that was like so expensive and so hard to get.
Yeah.
In that case, they're like, don't you worry about these knives, bro.
Yeah, no, it was so funny because the knives were so cool. I was really proud to sell it. I didn't even know they existed, but when I saw the knives, I'm like, those are beautiful knives. And I was like, hey, could you throw in 2 knives on the deal? And they're like, no, just sell me the domain and be gone. So, Mr. Domain holder.
Yeah, I sold recognize.com to a PE fund. and it was just all billionaires and institutional investors. And I was like, I don't want any cash. I just want to be part of the fund. And they're like, nope, we're going to just give you money. I was like, no, but I don't need any money. I just want, they're like, we can't put you on the cap table. It's only, I'm like, I know, I want to see with the big boys.
Yeah.
We had a deal.
And then I went back and forth. I was like, I'm not going to sell you this name. And then finally they gave me a sliver. They gave me $100,000 worth of the fund, but through, like through somebody. It's like, so I'm not actually on the cap table.
Hey, yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting because that, it brings up a whole nother conversation around equity and deals. And we've definitely seen a lot of that. And we had one deal last year that we were trying to get a piece of the equity and we were not able to because it was oversubscribed and by some of the biggest, funds and, in the world. And so they were just like, look, we'd love to include you, but we act like we can't. And that's a bummer because, that creates some really interesting opportunities. Now, at the same time, we've also done deals for equity where the equity is now valueless, right? So the cash would have just been better, especially if we just went and put it in Bitcoin. So, but it does create interesting opportunities and ways to get creative around getting deals done and especially for high value names. So, always an option and, definitely cool. So, all right, Shane, let's go. You got a name, you got to buy or sell. And
I have... I haven't very many sales since last year, so I'll do a buy. I bought HighRanking.com.
Oh, that's good.
Spelled correctly, just like it sounds. HighRanking.com.
What would be the alternative spelling there?
HI.
Oh, okay. So HIGH ranking.
Billy, you could just delete it.
Well, I didn't know if
Hi, Ranking. Welcome to the search party.
Hi, Ranking. All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Flip it. Ooh, okay. Daniel's at $550. Braden's at 4,500, and I'm at 5,000.
Daniel's win. It was 950.
Woo! Daniel wins, and he wins the domain game. First time on the show. Hype him up, Billy. Give us some stuff. Come on, give it to us. Fireworks, clapping, applause.
It's a phenomenal name, but I'm just like Shane likes deals. I'm like Shane found a diamond. Like everybody overlooked that, and Shane saw something there. Like that's what happened for me there. I was like, that's too good.
It's one of those where you win and you're not sure if it's going to come to you, right? Like, because anytime the name portfolio comes through GoDaddy auctions, you're maybe not. It might get canceled before, might not get delivered, might get renewed, but it came through. It hit my account 2 days ago. So yeah,
it's a sleeper. I love that.
Goodbye.
Such a sleeper.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah.
Right,
now
well,
it's just
stuff.
Make sure Adam.
I think that's a different buy. I think like even if you were closer to either of their numbers, that was still a good buy.
Yeah, I don't think ranking is ever going, like whether it's website or anything, like we all want to rank better.
There's always going to be competition.
There's always value.
Everybody's going to always want to be ranking high in whatever it is, in whatever format.
And that's all I can do right now is when I don't sell anything, my only job is to get inventory. So when it comes around, I have stuff to sell. So,
and if anything, I think it's even better. Actually, I think it has the same use case as SearchParty. Where it's like, hey, SEO is on its way out. Like you now want to be mentioned so that you can come up in, the generative models and LLMs.
Yeah.
Because that's where people are looking for things. You want to get mentioned there and you want to be well regarded to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So hey guys, we're moving over. I think it's similar use case.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it pays off. So
yeah,
that's great.
I
love that name.
Good price.
All right, well, and congratulations, Daniel, with the big win in the domain game. So that is what's up.
Someday I'll get a hoodie.
Somehow, some way, someday. Well, will you be at NamesCon?
Of course.
Then I will bring you some swag at NamesCon.
Amazing.
You are officially on the list. Boom. That is where swag shall be handed out. And
he's only saying that because he can drive and actually bring the box this time.
Exactly. I'm packing the car. The car is going to look
you
like.
You did bring it to California, though. But you also had a Sherpa. You had Billy carry all
Yes,
the
I
shit.
legitimately had a Sherpa, and I just packed up Billy like a pack mule. And
Yeah.
I said, here are the hoodies, Billy.
They're like, do an x-ray of this guy. He's got 3 hoodies in his
You know
butt.
Billy's the true domain Sherpa.
Yeah.
He is he is. He's
Speaking of which, I shout out Billy to the great video game video that he made. I assume he
dude.
made it. It
I
was
know.
that was solid.
It was funny because Drew, so for those of you who haven't seen it, it's like the Mortal Kombat thing, and it's me versus Drew, and Drew beats me pretty bad.
That was
And
cool.
when I saw it, I was like, and that's why when Drew said, he's
Billy,
like,
put that in right now.
Final round. Fight. Finish him. Fatality.
well, I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? I didn't even get a hit in. You know what I mean? And he was like, yo, I know, man. And then so when Drew wasn't kidding when he said job security, when they were like, oh, how come Drew won? And it's like job security, and it's not for me, it's for Billy. And he's like, yo, Drew, you kicked his ass. you kicked his ass.
Well, before
C-Dog.
I even saw the end of the video, I said Drew is gonna win. Like
Yeah.
no matter who he picked and who he fought, Drew is gonna be the winner. on that one.
And it was
If Drew lost, he'd be like, we ain't using that shit.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Like, come on, that's it. You're all out of here. Well, and what was unfortunate too, it's like I got beat really bad. And then like I even showed my kids, because I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And they love gaming. And they're like, but they're looking at me sideways like, dude, dad, you got your ass kicked. I'm like, it's not real. You know what I mean?
I didn't actually play.
They're like, you got work, dad. They're looking at me like, they're thinking lesser of me. And I'm like, Billy, see what you did? One of my kids is his godson. I'm like, come on, man. Do better, Billy. Do better, Billy. But it was really sick. I love that stuff. And
I think eventually here with AI and gaming, they will be able to make a game that really has all of us fighting.
oh,
like
dude.
that.
I mean, when you
It's
see like
not
some of
that
what the
far away.
graphics are looking like in sports games and stuff nowadays, you can create your own player to
Right.
look like you. I mean, it's like that's been there for a minute, but now it's getting to the point where it's like so realistic. And yeah, we'll
Yeah,
have
you'll
a
see
Sherpa
Braden
Island
next
game.
show. He'll have like the little things glued onto his face. He'll be recreating his body.
Oh
like
yeah. Like
video
what is the
game.
suit? The haptic suit or whatever?
Yeah, he's in that Gollum suit like they had in Lord of the Rings, and he's walking around.
We need to do a Sherpa Island game where it's like a
Uh,
survival game.
Oh yeah, you fight and then eat them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can Super Smash Bros. Style, but it's just some demeanors.
Oh,
Yeah, on an island. All right, well, that's what's up. Well, congratulations, Daniel, to your first of what may be many wins in the domain game, and nice job. So swag on the way.
MediaOptions is the industry's leading domain broker specializing in domain acquisitions, high-value domain sales, and domain name consultation. As pioneers and thought leaders on the subject of the domain aftermarket and domain name value, plus through their clear domain acquisition service, MediaOptions offers startups and established corporations an unparalleled scope of high-value domain options, providing access to domain names and curation technologies not available elsewhere. MediaOptions believes in the power of a great domain name and is dedicated to helping you obtain yours. Call or email today to put a domain to work for you.
All right, so this is the list. NameJetGonnaJet, sponsored by our friends at NameJet. You can go to the site, go to the DomainSherpa page for this show. You can download the spreadsheet that's got a bunch of the data for it, the Esteban appraisals, how many back orders is the time that we put the list together when the domain's going to auction, and all that good stuff. So, Braden, let's start with you. What do you like? What don't you like?
Okay, opening up the list. Well, I know you want me to talk about the legal names. So OceanLaw.
I always include legal names for you and .nets. And then for Shane, I'm always trying to find anything plant related. You know what I mean?
So OceanLaw, I think, is pretty good because it's broad, right? And there's actually a lot of stuff related to what's happening in the ocean. Growing seaweed and harvesting out there, and nautical boats and,
Yeah, maritime law is like a legit, like segment of the law, which I thought this would be a cool firm if that was. I guess it could work two ways. You either have somebody whose last name is Ocean, like a Danny Ocean, OceanLaw, or like you said, focusing on all things ocean related.
See, Daniel, this is what happens. JT says, "Why don't you talk about this thing?" And then you start to, and then he's like, "Let me tell you what I think." Like, why am I here?
Hey, you got the party started, man. The search party started.
So, but Ocean, like, to me, Ocean is. I mean, yes, it's another name for maritime. It could be, but I don't know. It feels somehow different, right? Like maritime is more nautical and boats and that sort of thing, and then Ocean feels like almost like land use, but in the ocean.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's just my feeling. I haven't looked. I don't know anything about this area of law, but that's just how I feel about it.
But you do know about law firm leads. Hold up the book. Show them.
I do know about that. That's true. And I like. So you put up a .net for me. So Eduardo.net. I don't know if Eduardo is the best name. I'd have to look up the usage. Obviously, we've heard it, but it does have some value, right? Because if you're Eduardo, that's a pretty decent name to just use for email alone.
Sure. Yeah, Drew uses Drew.net,
Yeah.
And but yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, and I've got Pollock.org. I couldn't get the .net.
Finally got Pollocked up.
Yeah, it took a long time. And then I like KitchenCollection. There's just so many. Like, if you've ever gone to like a design store, I just redid my bathroom, so I went into one of these Marvel shops. And it's just like all these they create these vignettes with bathrooms and kitchens and stuff. And KitchenCollection could be cabinets and countertops, and it could also be like utensils and stuff that's used inside appliances.
I feel like, didn't you have a company that was like a you had something I thought that did was it some kind of kitchen equipment type stuff? Like, did you
Me?
Oh no, that was hair. That was hair stuff. That was,
Here, yeah, I still have that.
Okay. So, all
right, that's what I got.
All right, I like it.
I'm
All right,
gonna
Shane,
leave the 4L for Daniel.
You might, be adding it to his collection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Shane, you're muted.
Sorry, I coughed earlier. I like AICounsel a lot because I do think that we're going to have. I think we're moving towards a lot of people asking AI legal questions before they take it to the real lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and that's a correct spelling, right, Braden?
It is.
Yeah. So I think that's a great name to specialize in some AI legal. So I think legal, accountant, and medical will be something that we ask the most questions to. So I love that name. That's about appraisal of $100 is.
Yeah, it's actually sub 100. It was like less than 100, but I had to put a minimum. I had to put a number in there. I didn't want to just put it at 0. I would agree with you. I thought that one is the biggest disparity of like, sort
Real
of what
value.
the computer thinks it's worth. And I agree. I saw some stuff, and not to hijack you, like,
No, that's okay. I'm not as harsh as you do.
but I see a lot of these tweets because I follow a lot of legal people and stuff on X and whatnot, and they talk about how, like, there's a lot of that chatter about AI doing a lot of the legal work, and how there are firms that are eliminating associate positions and research positions because AI is doing all the stuff now, and they're kicking out, for some of the tools and whatnot, they're kicking out motions and briefs that are as good as first and second year lawyers are doing, and even better quality with no time and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
and it's getting easier. It's getting easier to do like a llama on your own desktop, so you don't have to send your legal stuff out, right? So the part of the thing people worry about is having all your personal information on ChatGPT, but setting up a personal llama, like businesses have a co-pilot type thing that's all internal, so they can answer their own questions internally. People don't. We haven't quite moved to where people have it on desktop personal LLM, but we will be there, and that's where legal and all this stuff I think we'll get a lot more of that in there. So,
well, there are legal tools like Harvey AI, and so that has the guardrail set up.
Oh, yeah. Guardrails
Which I
are the
think
key.
is going to become more and more important. I mean, when people realize that, I just saw this posted this week where they were saying, hey, everyone thinks that whatever you type into Chat GPT is somehow protected by confidentiality when it's the opposite.
No, actually, Sam said that you can.
Sam Altman said that.
Yeah, Sam did. Yeah. So if he says it, he's definitely true that you can. So yeah, that's why it's important to set up these guardrails, as you said, legally, that they stay on your desktop. Although they can subpoena your desktop too. So I don't know that that's a legal protection, but it's definitely an information protection. But the next name I like BitLogic is fantastic with Bitcoin, and it just exudes crypto and blockchain, and it's a fantastic name. Another one that's valued under $1,000 is crazy. It's that's a super strong name. And then land services, I don't think people realize what that means. But here in the Midwest, we have a lot of land service companies. And in Texas, like when it comes to ranching, there's land service companies that manage your farms and your ranches and your, they do everything from making sure that the tenants get paid to keeping records of what chemicals you put down. So land service companies are a really big thing. And same thing, I don't think Esteban has any idea, or most of the country has no idea. And land service doesn't work. Land services is what it is. So you may not see a ton of searches for it. You may not see, but I can tell you that there's lots of people that they call, there's also farm managers. It just depends how big it is. When it gets larger, they call it land services. So
Yep.
I like that name a lot. And one quick one is I think Pests Smart will be a Pet Smart typo. Like you're going to buy that just to get some ad money. That's about it.
Well, you know what I thought would be interesting is if PetSmart decided to come up with a bug sort of branch, right?
But buy a collar for your roach.
A roach bed for your ants, you know what I'm saying? Like an ant farm, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like you go to PestSmart.
Or that's your amphibian snake like bug purchasing area. You're like, oh, you need some crickets for your toad or whatever. Come over to PetSmart and you can buy all your.
I know, it was interesting. But yeah,
people are keeping some weird pets nowadays, so that's not it's not as crazy and outlandish as we're laughing.
I mean, I brought my dog in there, and there's literally a dude with like 2 bags of crickets, like giant crickets. I'm like, can't you just go to the field and capture those things? Like, do you have to buy them? Or like,
how are you going to capture them? You going to chase after them and try to?
I don't know. There's got to be
somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Go to
cricket trap. Somehow they got them right.
If anyone's gonna know how to do it, it's Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just pick them off my
Get the
windshield.
worms.
Like, hey, honey, go drive around because we need some bugs off the windshield to feed the snakes.
I could see an exterminator using PestSmart.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I wonder.
PetSmart wouldn't get them.
Well, I think,
maybe.
Yeah.
well, no, yes and no, right? I mean, look, if PestSmart was really in their lane of like extermination services and something that's not related to the pet stuff, you could argue it's a whole different class of goods and services. But I think you're going to run into issues. I just thought it was funny because it's
it is a good one. But I do think there's going to be some typo, like those letters. Your fingers are going to get tangled up on that.
Well, it didn't have a lot of traffic from what I could tell. I mean, that's why the appraisal's obviously low and all that kind of stuff. I mean, look, the algorithmic appraisals, you take them with a grain of salt. I even saw Adam Strong complaining about the GoDaddy appraisal where he's saying, hey, like looking from, going from year to year, his portfolio is not increased.
Over 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "How is that even a thing?" And so
I had posted an image of the Go appraisals, and they were all like ridiculous. Like all these oneword.coms, they're like $12,000, $9,000.
Yeah, exactly. So the robots are not ready yet. They're not ready for the takeover yet.
No.
All right, Daniel, what about you, man? What do you like or don't like on the list?
My favorite name on the list is BitLogic. Even pre-crypto, like bit was a term for all things, tech, software, IT, so bit applies to that. Logic is typically a suffix for solutions. It's anybody that offers any kind of solution towards the relevant thing. Like logic is a popular ending for that. There are quite a few companies out there like branded as BitLogic. And they're like IT companies, and there's a crypto company. And there's some others I didn't dig into them, but like there's use for it. And I think that like that just to that audience, that name kind of explains itself to the relevant audience. I think that that's a name that you could price, at like $20,000. I think you could probably get 10 to 15 for it.
Yeah, even more. I mean, I'd probably put that at 50K.
I was gonna say I think it's gonna be 6,000-8,000 at auction, to be honest with you.
Wow.
If not more.
I think it's
Whoever buys that's they're gonna price that at like 125.
Yeah, I agree. And the
Well,
funny thing about that is when they
you're right to
registered
like
it,
it, right? I mean, you're
Bitcoin
right on
didn't
it.
even exist. I don't know the age of that one, but I'm gonna assume that name was, just like Daniel said, was registered for Byte way
Right.
before Bitcoin even existed. It's funny how things
Right.
happen, right? Like, crypto was cryptography, and all these crypto names that are old had nothing to do with crypto as we know it, but were registered as these sleuth cryptography kind of things.
And Bit was a thing before, crypto and Bitcoin and all that. Like people knew Bit. And so when they called it Bitcoin, like that just resonated to people because Bit wasn't a brand new term to us, just like how coin wasn't a brand new term to us. It was just a new use case. Bood.com, BOOD, I think that rolls off the tongue very poorly. Just don't like it. It just doesn't sound good. It's not appealing. It's not interesting. Zoil, ZOIL, I think they don't roll off the tongue well. They don't sound appealing. There's no.
I got to jump
Go
in
ahead.
on you because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with you. I think both of these are funny that they, especially like Bood has all these back orders and a high Esterbot, but it's like, that's a weird brand. Maybe it's usable. I mean, I could probably do some with it. Zoil, I thought maybe Z Oil, is there something there? But I would agree with you. I think that, and this is just me jumping in to say that I think you're right. Not all, 4-character pronounceables are created equal, right? And this is this is an example of that. So
I think that's one of those where you kind of build up your gut and your taste for a good brand that like, I can't explain it, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't have that satisfaction of like a cool brand. So I don't like those. I think Simply Beautiful is awesome. I personally love the adjectives and the descriptive names. Obviously super positive, beauty and fashion, would love those names. It's an easy way to be inclusive since that's kind of the thing, to be inclusive of everybody. And there's a lot of companies out there that are using adjectives and, descriptions and, positive affirmations as brands. Like they're out there and they're doing well, they're growing, they're raising money, they're succeeding. And they're catchy names. And so I think that's just an attractive brand. It's long, but they're two great words. There's good synergy. They're easy to remember. Most people can't spell beautiful, I think. But regardless, everybody knows the word. Everybody loves the word. So I like that a lot. KitchenCollection, I love KitchenCollection. Actually, my cousin and her family, they have a family-owned like custom kitchen business. They do cabinets, countertops, marbles, design from scratch, the whole nine, start to finish. And like that's the kind of name that somebody in the space would brand their business on, KitchenCollection. Whether that's custom kitchen design or cookware. And it's just something that someone would actually really want to use. So I like it. I think Miami-Dade is misleading because you think that it's maybe a category killer. Oh, it's the whole region, but it's so broad. What do you actually do with it? Like, is it traffic law? Is it real estate? It's probably real estate. Is it, but then Miami-Dade, it's like there's the extremely high-end area of Miami, and then there's stuff that's not so high-end. So it's like, do you really want to cover all of that? I don't know, maybe. It's maybe does Yellow Pages or Craigslist or Angie's List even care about something like that? I don't know. So I think it's misleadingly too broad and a tough sell.
okay, I'm with you.
One more. I think feud.org is interesting. I think it's a pro bono law volunteer service thing, for somebody that's like in a domestic issue, home issues, marriage issues, children's services, and somebody's doing pro bono work for that. I think it has usage for that. Maybe I'm reaching,
Yeah,
I'm-
I think it's a reach. I mean, I'm with you. I guess it's like pro bono. Who's spending real money on it? It's one word. I mean, it's kind of interesting if it's like mediation, like a mediation business, right? Like a American Arbitration Association type of, but not not a nonprofit. I would think maybe it's like a company that straight up is like, oh, okay, you got people involved in a dispute. You agree to settle it via arbitration. Feud.org is a provider of that kind of service or something.
I think if it's super
tough.
cheap, like it doesn't hurt. Like if you can get that just really dirt cheap, $100. Right. Yeah, that's my take on the list.
All right, cool. Well, I think we nailed most of I think we talked about almost all the names. If there's any, obviously there's a couple others, but greatmoves.com is an interesting one. I kind of like that one. I think it's a moving company, maybe, could be kind of great moves, but it sounds like dancing, but I think that's an interesting kind of play on the brand. That could be something, but it's a local business probably, unless they're doing like, I don't know, but yeah. And then the other one is any Lord of the Rings fans in this piece? Anybody?
Never seen any of them.
All right. So then Grima.com, Grima Wormtongue was a character in the Lord of the Rings. So, but all right, well, hey, whatever, So Elon Musk is a big Lord of the Rings fan, for what it's worth. So, and so is Peter Thiel, right? I think they name all these companies get named after characters from Tolkien novels and things. Anyway, all right. Well, I think that's it. That's the list, So whatever, guys. I'm gonna get my Lord of the Rings.
You lost me on LOTR.
Hey, man, it's classic stuff. All right.
So the first time I was going to New Zealand, I was playing racquetball and squash with this guy all the time, and he's like, "Oh, you got to talk to my buddy Pete. He knows New Zealand really well." And so he connects us via email. We're going back and forth. And Pete's telling me all this stuff, like where to go and what to do.
Oh, okay. I know where you're going.
Call me when you get here, and we'll meet up for coffee and stuff. I didn't, because I don't know, I was busy and I don't even remember.
Too cool. You're too cool for Peter-Jackson.
And yeah, and when I got back, my buddy's like, "So do you hook up a Pete?" And I said, "No, he's like, you should have. He knows New Zealand like back of his hand." It's like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, he's filmed all over the country." I said, "Really? Doing what?" He goes, "You don't know what Peter-Jackson has filmed?" I was like, "That was Peter-Jackson?"
Like, shit. Oh, dude, of all the people to be to chill in New Zealand with,
right? I didn't know.
Oh man, you guys could have been hanging out in the Shire.
Yeah,
but,
this was like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I mean, those are.
I remember you through the late 20 teens and a little bit post COVID. I have a nephew who is 6 years younger than me, 6.5 years younger than me, and he used to keep up with all the YouTubers last 4 years, 5 years. I don't know what's going on for the most part on YouTube and brain rot and all that. No idea what's going on there. I don't know who's famous.
Neither do we.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so we would be out and about because he lives in Hollywood, and we would just be, just schlepping around the city, hanging out, doing whatever. And he'd be like, "Oh, that's so-and-so." And I'm like, "What? Who?" He's like, "Oh, he's famous. He's on YouTube. He's got 500K, subscribers or whatever." Like, "Oh, this guy's Instagram famous." And I'm like,
it is really
cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, that's cool. Go say what's up. But I don't know. He's like, and all the time, he would be like, "You don't know who that is? How do you not know who that is?" I'm like, I don't know.
Like, I'm not 13 years old, dude.
Exactly. I normally, when I stay with somebody, I usually bring a picture of me and my family and leave it in their house on their dresser. I didn't do it to Braden because I totally forgot. But normally when I stay with someone, I think it's funny to put my picture up on their bulletin board or hang it on their refrigerator. And I just think it's funny, and it's something I've always done. And I stayed with the guy that did Game of Thrones and Amanda Pete's family, and they had this bulletin board, and it was all the pictures of their family. And so I stuck my picture up in amongst all their things. And 6 months later, my friend wrote back, "That was not cool." Nothing else. you shouldn't have done it. Just like, that's not cool. Like, if you're in my family, you don't put your picture. So I haven't done it quite as much, but there is a picture of Amanda Pete's got some stranger in her family. And I'm sure everybody was like, who is that? And they're like, I thought that was your cousin.
I think that's actually pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
well, hey,
I think it's funny.
all good. All right. Well, look, that is the NameJetGonnaJet list. Big shout out to NameJet. Good luck, everybody. Not financial advice. And we've got about 5 minutes left before we run out of time. So let's go around the horn really quick and do a let's start with you, Shane, and then we'll go Daniel and then close out with Braden. But what do you got? What else have you got going on in your world? Anything?
Same thing. We hit 16 years at DSAD in July. So what I lack in quality, I have made up in consistency. So again, I look back at some of the things. I don't know how I do it, but I still, like, right after this, I'm going to write the list and go through, and it still takes some time. So yeah, DSAD, we're doing newsletter because some people also like it, just easy format. But yeah, I'm doing that and just enjoying life. I mean, that's what we do. Like, just trying to make sure we do fun things and stay healthy. Again, I turned, well, just like Braden, we had a birthday here this month, and so you start evaluating and making sure you stay healthy and start booking some trips and people you want to see, and that's what I've been doing. So yeah, same old.
Well, hey,
same
congratulations, man! 16 years, day in and day out, is not easy. So
yeah,
sign up for the newsletter.
5,400. We only missed 15 days of posting over 16 years. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's 1 day a year off, that's really wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, good job, man. Congratulations. I know a lot of people get a lot of value. Sign up for the newsletter, y'all. And that's what's up. All right. Daniel, what about you, man?
My life is just head down, grinding, just outbounding. That's all that's going on over here. NamesCon, I will be on the Brokers Insiders panel, which is exciting. So if you guys want to hear about, what are the sentiments with leadership teams and investors and, just overall domain buyers, what are they thinking? How do they feel about domains? What are they saying? What's going on over there on the buyer front? It's myself, Mark Oriafi and Jeff Gabriel. We're talking to the buyers every day. So come check that out. This should be a good time. Other than that, until then, it's head down and, selling stuff. That's it.
All right. Well, good stuff, man.
Nothing else happening. Just focus on one thing.
The NamesCon's coming up. And so that's early November. Go to namescon.com. I'll, hit them with our promo code DS20 to get yourself 20% off on the registration. And then in January, we've got the ICA event happening in Vegas. And so if you haven't signed up for that as well and get yourself situated and booked, definitely make that happen. The Nomad, the MGM, and all good stuff. So definitely go to ICA.Vegas and check that out. So, all right, well, cool, man. We're looking forward to seeing you in person very soon. And it'll be here before we know it. And thanks again for being on the show today. All right.
Thank you for having me.
Braden, what about you, man? You got anything? Have you done anything recently?
Nah.
Publish a book? Done anything like it?
No data centers opening up in August.
Law firm leads
there we go.
by the one and only Braden Pollock.
This is my proof copy. They send you a proof to make sure it's 100% before they publish. But
okay.
So yeah, finally got that. I mean, I conceptualized it like 3 years ago, maybe even longer than that. Takes the village. I didn't just bang away at the keyboard all by myself.
Okay.
Allie helped me a lot, and my staff at Legal Brand Marketing, and
big shout out to Allie, man. So
yeah, she does a lot. I don't know what I'd do with that. I'd be a lot more useless.
A lot more useless, yeah.
I wouldn't get as much.
It's not that your domain's useless. It's just
yeah, she's the one that does a lot of the heavy lifting for me. So shout out to Allie.
Yeah.
So yeah, finally got this book done, and then it's all about the algo on Amazon. So I asked a bunch of you for help, and thank you.
And we crushed it. We
did. We did a great job. Big shout out to supporting.
Really came through for you. Thanks, a village. So we hit number one in 10 categories.
Sweet.
It's pretty good. And
when he says we, I consider it we, because I actually printed it out on mine too, because I left a hell of a review, and I felt that was almost as hard as writing the book. So
thank you.
Exactly. I bought the
Even though
book
you
by
used-
Kindle.
even though
I
you
wrote a
used-
2-sentence review that took a lot of time.
yeah, and so we did hit number one.
Yeah,
did.
we used ChatGPT. Almost everybody uses chat to write a review. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I didn't do that. That would have
I
been
didn't do that either. Mine was
wrote
hard
it by
and
hand, like the
Oh
old school
wow,
way.
from the heart, huh?
Parchment. I did a little quill, pen, and ink, and
yeah, mine was Chat TSC.
Yeah.
I did it all myself,
Wow.
Chat JDT.
and it shows with the typos.
I know,
Right.
I hand wrote mine. I know Andrew Miller hand wrote his because you just know it's him. There was a handful that I think were handwritten, but there was some that
You
were
knew
definitely
Shane hand
GPT.
wrote his by the use of 2 W's in the word awesome, and
Yeah. And then I know JT's wasn't, because there was an M dash every other word.
M dash.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
last time I checked, there was 131 5-star reviews. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
No, and look, I mean, hey, look, we're going to support you regardless. But the truth is that it is pretty awesome. I mean, I did go through and read a lot of it. And
Being a lawyer.
yeah, super useful. I think it's really well done. Obviously, you're an expert in the field, and in an area that I think is important to a lot of practicing attorneys. So, I mean, no joke, dude. Nice job, and
Thank you.
easy to support when it's authentic, and and useful. So, all good
Easy to
stuff.
support when it's $1.99.
Oh, that too. But hey,
It's not about the money. It's about supporting.
No, yeah, exactly. And
'Cause
it's
you didn't
about
do
being
it for
useful.
you didn't do it for the money, because that's not why you did it. You did
No.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely not. No,
Right.
it's marketing. It's marketing for the
Yeah.
biz.
Good
And
stuff.
we're going to give it away. I printed up a bunch of copies and went to a legal conference and signed them and gave them away. And you can download it. I'm not sure if it's up yet, but you can download it from our website, or they're sending it out. It's all going to be given away to clients.
It was like what do you call it? There was a big old line of people trying to get that autographed copy right next to a line that was almost as big for eminent domain and the law of perpetuities, so it was like,
Right. It's very popular.
hey man, it is great stuff though, and super super cool. So congratulations, nice work, all that good stuff.
Thank you.
And yeah, guys. All right, well, we're out of time, and so I think we've pretty much covered all the bases. Daniel, again, thank you so much, man. Great to have you here on your inaugural appearance on Domain Sherpa. Braden and Shane, as always, thank you guys for giving your time and insight to the audience. Speaking of the audience, thank you guys so much for those of you that are still tuned in. I say it on every show, without you, there is no us. So we do appreciate you all taking the time, and hopefully you found some things interesting, helpful, useful, or just entertaining enough to keep you occupied while you're spending some time with us. And
While you're trying to fall asleep.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like hopefully we helped all of you narcoleptics finally get over the hump. And otherwise, we're not hard to find. Hit us up with the good, the bad, the ugly. Otherwise, we will see everybody here next time on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you soon.